Hi guys, I think I'm live now. If you can see me, if you can hear me, please do let me know in the chat that everything is good. Then we'll start today's session. Today we'll be solving 23 questions. Normally we solve 20 questions, but I'm trying to slightly increase slowly as CAT is coming closer. We'll probably have a 2-hour session, but it might extend to maybe 2.5 hours. That is basically the plan for today. If you want to take part in today's test, please go to krakow.in/live. Many people ask us after the session has started about how they can actually join the test. So please go to krakow.in/live. I'll wait for a couple of minutes so that people can really join, and we'll start the test at exactly 2 p.m. As usual, after every question, I will be explaining the question and any important concept that is there, which is part of it, I'll be explaining. So please go to krakow.in/live and then you can take part in today's test. Also, please do like the stream. I want to get to at least 250 likes before the stream ends. So that is the plan for today. Can somebody tell me how many days are left for CAT? CAT is on November 24th. Today is probably October 25th, maybe 25th or 26th. So do let me know how many days are left and how many mocks you are attempting to take. As I said earlier, I'll start the test at exactly 2 p.m. I'm just waiting for more people to join. The test will be available at krakow.in/live. There are 23 questions today. Most of the questions have 3 minutes. But some questions have slightly lesser time because they are very easy questions. So there will be some difficult questions and some very simple questions. So I think everybody will be able to definitely solve at least a few questions. And the plan is, if somebody gets 23 questions correct, all the 23 questions correct, they get a Krakow t-shirt. This is what we try to do every time. So if you get all the 23 questions correct, you get a Krakow t-shirt. Prakash Kumar is saying in this 28 days, he is looking to take 15 mocks. I think that is an overkill. I would recommend you to not do it, because one of the key things, big mistakes that people make is that they get burnt out by the day of the examination. So try not to do it. Try to plan it accordingly such that you take maybe 1 mock every 3 days. So try to take around say 10 mocks, and especially in the last 3-4 days, don't take any mock, just go with a relaxed mindset. I think that should be sufficient. Divya Jyoti Pradhani Singh, sir, please help me get 95 percentile in 30 days. Please give some tailored strategy. I made a video yesterday about I gave 5 tips about what people should do in the run up to CAT. Please watch them. I think they'll be useful for you. So it is 2-1. I'll be starting the test in exactly 1 minute. I'm just waiting for everybody to join at krakow.in/live. Please do join there, guys. And then we'll start the test very shortly. 29 days left, 12 mocks to be taken. Pranam sir, Pranam Neelam Bhuj Mishra. Everybody is saying 29 days. That is very good. 29 days are left. Try to take at least 8 to 10 mocks. Please share tips for increasing accuracy in VRC, especially in verbal ability. If you want my tip, I think the best way is to go through the CAT revision videos. There is a CAT revision videos playlist that we have. Definitely watch it. I think your accuracy will improve a lot. It helps me in VRC, so I'm assuming it will help others also. There is a CAT revision videos playlist. Okay guys, it is 2-2. So let us start today's quiz. Please go to krakow.in/live and try to get 23 on 23 questions correct. Then you will be eligible to get a Krakow t-shirt. The first question will be on your screen now. Kashvi Chabra is saying, sir, please upload the video solutions for the last free quant sectional taken by you. Yeah, man, I've taken 2 free quant sectionals. I didn't upload the video solution for both of them. I'll try to upload it in the coming days. I'm getting a lot of requests for the same, so I'll try to do it. Krishna Khanna is saying, sir, I got 63 in Dashcard 13, sir. How is it? 93 percentile. I think 63 is a very good score in Dashcard 13. I think I recorded the mock analysis yesterday. We will release it, or maybe we have already released it. Dashcard 13, I would say the verbal section, the RCs were not very difficult. They were readable, but I think some of the questions were difficult in verbal section. In LRDI, if I'm not wrong, I think there is one set which is easy. I think there's a Venn diagram set that is definitely answerable. I think one other set can be done. If somebody chooses the right sets, I think 1.5 to 2 sets, I think is possible. It is not impossible. Somebody who is aiming for 99 percentile, I think can be able to solve 2 sets. And quant, I think there are some questions which are tough. I think quant is slightly on the tougher side. But again, I would say there are some questions which can be solved. But again, overall, I would say quant is definitely on the medium to hard level of Dashcard 13. So considering all of it, if you have scored 63 marks, I think that is a good score. Mayank Tripathi saying, sir, can I do number systems now or should I focus on arithmetic, algebra, geometry? I would say focus on the 3 important topics. I think that is very important. Do the basics of number system. The basics of number system is basically what you can understand in say 2-3 hours of number system, do it. But don't put too much emphasis on number system because time also is a resource and that is a constrained resource. You don't have infinite time. Right now, like we discussed, you have just 29 days. So focus on becoming very good at the important topics. But if a very easy question comes from number systems, you should be able to answer it. I've scored 85 percentile in CAT 2023 with, I can't read it actually. But after preparing mocks, I'm not scoring good in mocks. What to do? I think you are just nervous. Basically, if you think logically, the more effort you put in, the better your score will be. That is just basic logic. So don't worry about it. Believe in the process. Guys, please do like the stream. We have 150 people approximately are watching the stream live. We have only 75 likes. So let us get to at least 100 likes before I start explaining the question. Sir, students give dash cat availability given all India mock or free mock of Krakow as well. I would say first take dash cats, especially in the dash cats, take dash cat 1, 2, 3. Those should be definitely most important. After that, I think you can take the whatever mocks you want to take. But I would say focus on dash cat 1 especially. I've again recently reviewed it. I think it is a very good mock. I think it is a mock which is on par with CAT 2023. It is a slightly difficult mock, but I expect the CAT also to get harder and harder. That is the reason we have set it. It is not a very difficult mock. It is a very nice mock. I would recommend you to take it. Okay, let us answer this question. 37 people got it correct. 30 people got it wrong. So this 38 people right now, they are in contention to win the free Krakow t-shirt. A manufacturer has 200 liters of acid solution, which has 15% acid content. So what is the amount of acid in it? The amount of acid is 15% of 200, which is 30 liters. And what is the amount of water? The amount of water is the remaining 85%. 85% of 200 liters is 170 liters. Let us assume that he mixed it with X liters of the other solution, which has 30% acid. So what is the amount of acid in this X liters? That will be 0.3X. And what is the amount of water? It will be the remaining 0.7X. So overall, the first solution has a volume of 200 liters that is told to us. So what is the total volume of the mixer? The total volume of the mixer is 200 plus X. What is the amount of acid in it? It will be 30 plus 0.3x. So what is the fraction of acid in it? The fraction of acid is 0.3x plus 30 divided by x plus 200. We want this to be greater than 20% but less than 25%. So let us remove the denominator. Let us multiply the entire inequality with x plus 20%. So we want 0.3x plus 30 to be greater than 0.2, which is 20% of x plus 200, and less than 0.25 of x plus 200. That is, we want 0.3x plus 30 to be greater than 0.2x plus what is 0.2 into 200? 0.2 into 200 is 40. And we want this to be less than 0.25 into x plus 200, which is 0.25x plus 50. If you are looking at this inequality, we essentially want 0.1x to be greater than 10, or we want x to be greater than 100. If you are looking at this inequality, we want 0.05x to be less than 20, or we want x to be less than 400. So essentially we want x to be greater than 100 and we want x to be less than 400. So the answer for the question is that it should be greater than 100 liters but less than 400 liters, which is option C. Let us look at the next question. Sir, how much percentile was 65 marks in the last CAT exam? I think 65 marks would be above 95 percentile but less than 99 percentile. If I am not wrong, I think 99 percentile was 76 marks last year. And I think 65 marks would be maybe around 96 percentile. I might be wrong, but approximately that is what it would be. And one thing I would tell you is the 99 percentile mark across the year is coming down. This I have mentioned many times earlier also. In CAT 2021, the 99 percentile mark, if I'm not wrong, was around 102 or 103, maybe around 100 marks. In CAT 2022, the 99 percentile mark came down from 102, I think it was around 86 or 84, something like that, 85 marks. And last year in CAT 2023, the 99 percentile mark was 76. What does this mean? It means that by scoring lesser marks, much lesser marks, somebody is getting 99 percentile. That is, one way to look at it is, that is good because you need to score lesser to get 99 percentile. Another way to look at it is, maybe the paper is getting harder, so it is difficult to score higher marks. Earlier, a 99 percentile guy would score 1 or 2. Now that 99 percentile guy is scoring only 76. There are different ways in which you can look at this particular data. But one thing which I have noticed is that the paper is definitely getting harder. I hope that is not the case this year. In fact, I don't like it when the paper is tougher because it just adds a lot of stress, a lot of negativity to a lot of students. I personally don't want that to happen, but I can see that that is the trend that is happening in the last 3 years. So we don't know how the paper will be this year, but it is better for us to be prepared for a tougher examination. Harshit Gupta is saying good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, man. Guri Singh is saying, sir, does this mean this year CAT will be more difficult as compared to last year? See, nobody knows that. I don't know whether it will be difficult or easy. Nobody knows that. Only the people who are setting the paper will know it. All I am saying is, as a mentor, I would recommend you to be mentally prepared for a tougher examination. Because I think it is much better to go prepared for a tougher examination and expect and get an easier examination than the other way around. Flower of Evil is asking 2-3 concept mixed questions. Okay, I'll see. Okay, let us look at it. In this question, the teacher noticed a strange distribution of marks. He saw that there are only 3 types of marks that are given. Either students got 6 marks, or they got 8 marks, or they got 20 marks. The mode of the distribution is 8. What does this mean? Mode basically means that if you are given a set of numbers, the number which is repeated the most number of times is called the mode. So for example, if you are given 1, 1, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3 is repeated 3 times, which is the most number of times it is repeated. So this is the mode. Mode is very simple. Whatever number is occurring the most number of times is called the mode. So here we are told that 8 is the mode, which implies that most number of students got 8. Let us assume that A people got 6, B people got 8, and C people got 20. The sum of the scores of all the students is 504. So this would imply that 6A plus 8B plus 20C is equal to 504. This is one equation. Because A students got 6 marks, B students got 8 marks, C students got 20 marks. So the total marks that people got is 6A plus 8B plus 20C. That has to equal 504. The number of students in the most populated category was equal to the sum of, what is the number of students in the most populated category? That has to be B. So what we are told over here is that B is equal to the sum of the number of students with the lowest score, which is A, plus twice the number of students with the highest score, that is C. So this is 2C. This is the second equation we have. So essentially we are given 3 variables, A, B and C, and we are given only 2 equations, this one and this one. Can we actually calculate the value of A, B and C? In a normal situation we can't calculate it, but over here in these kind of situations, you should know that there is information that is given about A, B and C that we need to know. A, B and C, for example, are integers. They are whole numbers. They cannot be fractions. That is an information that is given, so probably we will be able to solve it. So don't worry too much about it. The simple thing to do is eliminate as many variables as you can. So here let us first, for example, eliminate the value of B, because we are given B is A plus 2C. From the first equation, first let us divide it by 2, because all the coefficients are even numbers. So this would be 3a plus 4b plus 10c is equal to 252. Now what is 4b? This is 3a. Now we'll substitute b is equal to a plus 2c. So this is 4a plus 8c plus 10c is equal to 252, or the value of 7a plus 18c is equal to 252. Now how can we calculate the value of a and c? Like I mentioned earlier, even though it is just one equation, we know that a and c are whole numbers. Now once we know that a and c are whole numbers, if you are looking at this equation, 252 is a multiple of 18. 252 is equal to 18 into 14. 18c is obviously a multiple of 18 because the coefficient is 18. So 7a has to be a multiple of 18. But 7 is a prime number. This would imply that a has to be a multiple of 18. So let a be equal to 18a1. If a is equal to 18a1 and you substitute it over here, we are going to get the equation which is 7 into 18a1 plus 18c is equal to 252. Let us now divide the entire equation with 18. So we are going to get 7a1 plus c is equal to 14. The solution for this, the only value that a1 can take is that a1 is equal to 1, c is equal to 7. So the value of a will be equal to 18a1, which is 18. And what is the value of b? b is a plus 2c, that is 32. So the total number of students, which is equal to a plus b plus c, is equal to 18 plus 7 plus 32, which is equal to 57. So the answer for this question is option E, which is 57. Let us look at the next question. Navdeep Singh is saying, sir, I solved 4 RCs in 32 minutes. Very good. And give 8 minutes left for VA. What strategy should I follow to maximize the score from VA questions? Please guide, sir. See, one thing I would tell you which helps me quite a lot, especially in the verbal ability, is watching the VARC revision video by Saili. That is, I think, a very, very useful video. Definitely check it out. I look at that video every time before CAT. So definitely check it out, VARC revision video by Krakow. Now, another thing I've noticed personally is that when I do the dash CAT attempts in verbal ability, I tend to score well in RC and my accuracy in verbal is lesser. So recently I realized that because that is happening, and one of the reasons that is happening is because I tend to take verbal ability section quite easy. I don't take it very seriously. I put a lot of emphasis, lot of concentration, lot of focus, lot of intensity in the reading comprehension part. So once I switch to verbal, I tend to relax a little psychologically, because of which I think my accuracy is lesser. So one thing I would tell you is, if you are giving 32 minutes for RC, so you are giving 32 minutes for 16 questions for RC, and you are giving only 8 minutes for 8 VA questions. So for RC you are giving 2 minutes per question, and for VA you are giving 1 minute per question. So it is possible that your accuracy in VA might be lesser. So try to see if you can finish the RCs in say 29 minutes or 28 minutes, so that you can give, instead of 8 minutes, maybe say around 12 minutes. Because this is something that I myself do, which I realize is a mistake, where I tend to put a lot of emphasis on RCs, and my accuracy in RC also is good, but I tend to not take VA so seriously, but both of them are equally important, because a mark is a mark. So that is something I would recommend you to do. Good afternoon, Raido, how are you? We have 150 people who are watching the stream live. We got 122 likes. I wanted to get to 250 likes before the stream ends. So please guys, please do like the stream. We need 128 more likes. Sir, can I get 99 percentile starting my preparation from today? I would say there are different things. No, I have to figure out where you are right now. If you are already scoring say 95 to 96 percentile, increasing there from there to 99 percentile, I think is definitely possible. But again, don't worry about these percentiles and all right now, because it will just drain your mind. It will just distract you from your goal, which is to improve your proficiency. So focus on improving yourself. Percentiles will follow. Okay. 75 people got it correct. Many people have gotten all the questions correct. At least 7 people have gotten all the questions correct, which is good to see. Let us see how many of them can actually maintain it for the 23 questions. Ramesh analyzed the monthly salary figures of 5 vice presidents of his company. All the salary figures are integers. The mean and median salary are 5 lakhs and the mode is 8 lakhs. Only mode is 8 lakhs. Okay. Which of the options below is the sum of the highest and the lowest salaries? What is the mode? Mode is the most frequently occurring number in a series. So if you are given a list of numbers or a set of numbers where there is repetition, the number which is repeated the most number of times is the mode. Here we are told that the number which is repeated most number of times is 8. What is the median? Median is if you arrange all the numbers in ascending order, the middle number is median. What is mean? Mean is the number which is the average of all the numbers that are given. Just to give you an example, suppose you have 5 numbers A, B, C, D, E, which are say arranged in ascending order like this. Now this would imply that the middle number has to be the median. C is the median. It is the number in the middle. Mean is A plus B plus C plus D plus E divided by 5. That is the mean. And mode is the number which is repeated the most number of times. In this particular case, we are given 5 numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Let us assume that they are arranged in ascending order like this. We know that 5 is the median. So 5 has to be the number which is in the middle. So this is 5. We know that 8 is the only mode. So 8 has to occur at least 2 times because 5 is occurring already once. So 8 has to occur at least 2 times. So these two have to be 8. What is the sum of all the 5 numbers? We are told that the mean is 5. So the sum has to be 5 into 5, which is 25. We know 3 numbers already. We have 5, 8 and 8. They are totaling up to 21. So the sum of these two has to be 4. So there are 2 cases possible. Either it is 1 and 3 or it is 2 and 2. But it cannot be 2 and 2 because if it is 2 and 2, then 2 also will be the mode. Then 2 will be the mode, 8 will be the mode. We don't want that to happen. We are told that 8 is the only mode. So it cannot be 2 and 2, it has to be 1 and 3. So the smallest possible number is 1 and the largest is 8. The sum of these two is 9. So the answer for this question is option A. Let us look at the next question. Sir, I am bad at VRC, okay. Should I attempt 2 RCs and 4 VA by taking more time for questions or attending 3 RCs and few VA, which is better, sir? Normally, if I am in your situation, I would, because my accuracy in RC is better, which is what I was telling you earlier also, I would try to attempt as many RC as I can, but I would not completely ignore VA. There are some parts of VA which again I think are scoring. For example, para insertion, which was introduced last year, I think is a very scoring subject. Similarly, some people also tend to do well with parajumbles. I sometimes struggle with parajumbles, but some people do well. So you have to figure out what is the kind of VA that you that your accuracy is high and try to attempt them. Rubesh is saying, sir, which playlist were you mentioning? VARC, I couldn't find it. We will post the link. Somebody please post the link for the revision playlist, CAT revision playlist. In that you will have 4 videos. In the CAT revision videos, you have 2 for Quant, 1 for LRDI and 1 for VRC. These are the 4 videos. It is called the CAT revision playlist. I think 5 people got all of the questions correct till now. Forty-seven people got this question correct. This is not a difficult question. We gave lesser time this time because the question is not a very difficult one. That is why we gave lesser time for it. Let us solve it. Here we are told that there is a thief after committing burglary started fleeing at 12 noon. His speed is 60 kilometers per hour. He was then chased by a policeman X, and X started the chase 15 minutes after the thief has started. So here we have the thief. He is running this side at 60 kilometers per hour. Thief starts at 12 o'clock. He is running like this. X, who is the policeman, starts 15 minutes later, so he will start at 12:15. And at 12:15, where is the thief? The thief will be somewhere over here. This is the thief. And what is the distance he has covered? In these 15 minutes, his speed is 60 kilometers per hour. 15 minutes is 1 by 4 hours. So the distance he covered is 16 into 1 by 4, which is 15 kilometers. Now X starts running behind him at 65 kilometers per hour. The thief is 15 kilometers ahead and the thief is running at 60 kilometers per hour. So what is the time taken by the policeman X to catch up with the thief? The distance between them is 15 kilometers. And the relative speed between them is 65 kilometers per hour minus 60 kilometers per hour, which is 5 kilometers per hour. So they will catch up in 3 hours. The policeman X started at 12:15. So after 3 hours, that is at 3:15, he will catch up with the thief. So the answer for this question is option C. Let us look at the next question, which is related to this question. Dharam is saying, hello sir, what should the target percentile for FABM in IMB? I am an agricultural graduate. I think typically if you score above 85 to 90 percentile, I think you have a good chance of getting a shortlist. Okay, let me look at some of the questions that people have asked. Varun Konathala is saying, sir, give at least 2 minutes, sir. It is a simple question, man. And it is part of a group. So maybe I could have given, but I know that many people have actually gotten it correct. If you check it, 55 people got it correct in 90 seconds. So that's why I didn't give too much time. Normally, I'm giving 3 minutes for normal questions. Whenever I feel that a question is very simple, I'm giving slightly lesser time. Hussein Abbas is saying, I'm a working professional with 5 years work ex. Okay. Shall I go for CAT for 2-year MBA or go through GMAT for 1-year MBA? I would say with 5-year work ex, maybe 1-year MBA is better. Having said that, I would recommend you to take CAT. I would not recommend you to not take CAT. Take CAT, prepare well for it, prepare well for GMAT also. Take it, try to convert the college and then take a call. Try to convert the best college that you can and then take a call as to whether you want to join it or not. Because many times what I've noticed is when you feel that you have more options, the stress is lesser. If you put all your eggs in one basket, it tends to overwhelm many people. So if I am in your situation, I would focus well for CAT and GMAT. I'll try to convert the colleges to the best of my ability. And then if I convert all the colleges that I wanted, then I would choose the one that I would want. And in your case, then I would say, okay, then I would say pick a good college which has 1-year executive MBA. But then don't close off your options by not taking CAT. 5 years is long work ex. Work ex is slightly on the higher side. Having said that, it is not crazily high. The average work ex of people who are joining MBA recently is around 3 to 4 years. So 5 years is not like you'll be completely like out of the blue or you'll be completely an odd one out. That won't be the case. But still, I would say after 5 years work ex, maybe 1-year MBA is better. But still, don't close your options. Take CAT and take it very seriously. Okay, now in the same question, we are told that there is another policeman who started the same chase along with X, but at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. How far behind was he when X caught the thief? So essentially what we are saying is that at 12 o'clock, the thief starts running. X is the policeman, he starts at 12:15. We have the thief over here. At 12:15, when X starts, the thief is 15 kilometers ahead. And then there is another policeman. Let us assume that this guy's policeman is Y. He also starts at 12:15. The policeman X is going at 65 kilometers per hour. This guy, the other policeman, is going at 60 kilometers per hour. Like we saw earlier, X will catch up with the thief after 3 hours. Now in this 3 hours, X is going at 65 kilometers per hour. Y is going only at 60 kilometers per hour. So their relative speed is 5 kilometers per hour. So in 3 hours, the distance between both of them will be 5 kilometers per hour, which is the relative speed, into 3, which is 15 kilometers. So the answer for this question is option B. Let us now look at the next question. Swapnil Shivasa is saying, how to avoid panic? Sir, joined at third question, want to make it to top 5. You have my best wishes, Advika. Try to score 21. If you have joined in the third question, try to score all the 21 questions correct. What are the remaining 21 questions? Then I think you have a good shot of coming in the top 5. Because a lot of people are actually joining, I'll try to increase the number of people on the leaderboard from instead of 7, I'll try to make it say the top 20. Sakshi Gaikwad is saying, hello sir, I'm an architect with 4 years of work ex. What percentile could get me a shortlist? I think it depends on your profile also. You can check the CAT percentile required for IAM calls. We have a very nice, very interesting tool for it. CAT percentile required for IAM calls. There you have to enter your profile details, that is how much you scored in your 10th, how much you scored in your 12th, all of those things, how much you scored in your graduation, what is your like background, your education background, are you an engineer, non-engineer, all of those things. Then if you click on submit, you will get a list of colleges and the approximate percentile that is needed to get a shortlist. Guri Singh gem percentile for FMS, SPJMR, MDIG. I think approximately with a good profile, you can get most of the shortlists at say around 98.5 to 99 percentile. Maybe slightly lesser also would suffice for MDA. But for FMS, I think to have a realistic shortcut conversion, I think you'll need around 99 point plus. Okay, let us look at this question. Two trains are traveling in opposite direction at uniform speed of 60 kilometers per hour and 50 kilometers per hour. So we have train 1, which is going at 60 kilometers per hour. And there is train 2, which is going at 50 kilometers per hour. Now we don't know the lengths of both the trains. Let us assume that the first train is L1 length and second train is L2. Both of them cross each other completely in 5 seconds. So the relative speed, because they are going in opposite directions, is 60 plus 50, which is 110 kilometers. And they cross each other, the time taken is only 5 seconds. If you convert it into hours, because we have 60 kilometers per hour and 50 kilometers per hour, let us try to calculate everything in kilometers and hours. So we have 110 into 5 divided by 3600. This is the total distance that they have covered. This has to be equal to the length of both the trains, L1 plus L2. But what we are also told is that L2, a passenger who is sitting in the faster moving train, that is in train 1, he overtakes the other train completely in 18 seconds. What does this mean? Suppose this is the slower train. This is L2. Now there is this train which is coming, which is the faster train. The length of this train is L1. There is one guy who is sitting over here. Now he comes over here to the back of the slower train. Slowly the faster train is overtaking, and this guy overtakes the front of the slower train completely. So the relative distance that he has covered with respect to the second train is the length of the second train, which is L2. So this would imply that L2 is equal to the relative speed is 60 kilometers per hour minus 50 kilometers per hour, which is 10 kilometers per hour, into the time taken is 18 seconds. Again, let us convert seconds into hours. So this is 18 divided by 3600. This is 200. So L2 is equal to 1 by 20 kilometers. Kilometers, again, if you want to convert it into meters, is you multiply it with 1000. So 1 by 20 into 1000, which is equal to 50 meters. So the length of the smaller train or the shorter train or the slower train is 50 meters. If you're looking at the options, the only option is option C. Okay, so you can just mark this and go ahead. Otherwise, you can even calculate the value of L1. L1 plus L2 is this. L2 is 50. This is in kilometers. So L1 plus 50 is equal to 110 into 5 by 3600 kilometers into 1000 meters. So you can cancel these two. This is also 5. This is 18. So this comes to approximately 2750 divided by 18, which I think you can figure out will be, I think, approximately, if I'm not wrong, 152 point something. So the value of L1 will be 102 point something. You can calculate the exact value, but it will be that, which is option C. Let us look at the next question. V is saying, sir, there is no reply from Krakow support team. It's been 18 hours, but there is no reply. Okay, please, we will check it. Basically, our team doesn't work over weekends normally, especially our support team. So I think that is the reason where there is a delay, but we'll definitely get back to you on Monday. We have 170 people who are watching the stream live. Guys, please do like the stream. I want to get to at least 300 likes before the stream ends. So we need another 130 likes. Please do like the stream. How to deal with the mental drain happening from VRC till QA and underperforming in QA because of that? I think you have to improve your mental stamina. You have to maybe take more mocks because then you will get used to the process of concentrating better towards the end also. And I think I've observed is if you are physically fitter, your mental stamina also is better. So try to see if you can go for walks or runs regularly in the evening, because then you will have better stamina, which will help you in being mentally focused even after 1.5 hours of starting the mock. Sir, attempt nearly 8 to 9 dash cuts, unable to cross 50, feeling demotivated. You should not feel demotivated, man. You should tell yourself that every mock I am taking is improving my chances of doing well in the examination. And basically, you have to motivate yourself. It is very important if you are aiming to be a manager, because of which you are planning to do an MBA. One key element in this entire process in this entire journey is motivating yourself. काफी लोगों को ये इश्यूज होते हैं, काफी लोगों को पैनिक होता है, काफी लोगों को एंग्जाइटी होता है, सारे लोग बीच में डिमोटिवेट हो जाते हैं. लेकिन जो भी अपने आप को मोटिवेट कर सकता है वो ही एग्जाम में अच्छा परफॉर्म कर सकता है. और मुझे लगता है कि ये कॉर्पोरेट करियर में अगर आप लोग स्टार्ट कर रहे हो तो काफी सिचुएशंस ऐसे आएंगे, ऐसा नहीं कि सब कुछ सुनहरा होगा, सब कुछ अच्छा होगा, कुछ अप्स एंड डाउन्स नहीं होंगे. काफी टाइम्स पे ऐसे अप्स एंड डाउन्स होंगे, लेकिन जो भी स्टेबल होगा, जो भी अपने आप को होल्ड कर पाएगा, अपने कंपोजर को, अपने नर्व्स को, और अपने आप को मोटिवेट कर सकता है, ऐसा पर्सन ही आई थिंक एक अच्छा मैनेजर बनेगा. क्योंकि आपके टीम के सारे लोग आपको देखेंगे और आपको उनको भी मोटिवेट करना है, अपने आप को भी मोटिवेट होना है. तो ये भी एक की स्किल है जो मैं रिकमेंड करता हूं आप सब अपने आप में डेवलप करें. Okay, let us answer this question. Distance between A and B is 72 kilometers. So we have A, we have B. The distance between both of them is 72 kilometers. Two men started walking from A to B at the same time towards each other. So there's one guy who is starting from A, there's one guy who is starting from B. The person who started from A traveled at a uniform speed of 4 kilometers per hour. So A starts at 4 kilometers per hour. B, on the other hand, he keeps increasing his speed. The first hour he walked at 2 kilometers per hour, then he walked at 2.5 kilometers per hour, then he walked at 3 kilometers per hour, and so on. When will they meet each other? So if you're looking at it, suppose they meet each other after T hours. What is the total distance walked by the person from A? It is a constant, it is 4T. Okay. And what is the total distance walked by the person from B? The first hour he walked 2, the second hour he walked 2.5, the third hour he walks 3, and so on. And there will be t terms in this arithmetic progression. This has to equal the total distance between them, which is equal to 72 kilometers. Now, what is the sum of this arithmetic progression? We know that in an arithmetic progression, which is of the form a plus d, a plus 2d, and so on, the sum of the first n terms is equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. That is the sum of an arithmetic progression. In this particular case, we are looking for the sum of the first t terms. So this is 4t plus t by 2 into, what is the first term? The first term is 2. 2 times 2 is 4 plus n minus 1, which is t minus 1, into what is the common difference? The common difference is 0.5. This is equal to 72. You can simplify this. This is 4t plus 2t plus t into t minus 1 divided by 4 is equal to 72. Or this is t square minus t plus 24t is equal to 288. Or the quadratic equation we are going to get is t square plus 23t minus 288 is equal to 0. This can be factorized to equal t plus 32 into t minus 9 is equal to 0. So t will be either minus 32 or 9. The time cannot be negative, so t will be equal to 9 hours. So where will they meet? The easiest way to figure out is the guy from A is traveling at a constant speed of 4 kilometers per hour. So in 9 hours, he would be traveling 4 into 9, which is equal to 36 kilometers. So they'll be meeting over here. If you add up 2 plus 2.5 plus dot 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 for the first 9 terms, that also will add up to 36, because that is the difference between 72 and 36. So both of them will meet essentially at the midpoint. So the correct answer is option D. Let us look at the next question. Kushagra Singh is saying nice Hindi, by the way. Thank you guys. Dinesh is saying, sir, is these questions are CAT level or easy questions? All of these questions are from previous year's CAT. So you can definitely go ahead and think that these are actually questions from previous year's CAT. It is not like they are easy questions. The only issue is in the examination, you will feel more pressure. Probably here in the stream, when you're sitting at home, quite relaxed on a Saturday afternoon, you're not feeling that pressure. So maybe you're finding them to be very easy. Agarwal is saying, sir. Okay, thanks Agarwal. Rubesh is saying, sir, it will be helpful if you have sessions like this for 2 hours every day. QA, VRC, DLR. Every day from Monday to Friday, we are having 1 to 1.5 hours live sessions for the Krakow students from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Many times it actually goes till 9:30 p.m. Every day, okay, from Monday to Friday. So if you are enrolled to the Krakow course, you can get this daily classes where we solve a lot of questions. It will help you quite a lot. Agarwal, I think the level of difficulty of Krakow mocks in comparison to the actual real exam, we try to make the mocks to replicate the actual difficulty. So you can feel that our dash cuts are slightly tougher, our snap mocks are definitely slightly easier. So we try to replicate how we expect the actual examination to be. Aditya Singh is saying, I am a cricketer from the Mumbai Cricket Association for the last 2 years, but I don't have any academic achievement. How much percentile is required for Blackie? I am a non-engineer. Aditya Singh, as I mentioned, please go to the CAT percentile required for IIM calls. There you can input all your profile details. We'll take the profile details and we'll let you know what is the expected percentile that is needed. That I think is a fairly accurate tool, so that will be good for you. श्वेत लेना नहीं, मैं हिंदी इतना अच्छा नहीं बोलता, लेकिन मैं हिंदी बोलने का कोशिश करता हूँ और मुझे लगता है कि वो भी एक अच्छा चीज है जिसमें भी आप लोग इतना एक्सपर्ट नहीं हो या इतना अच्छे नहीं हो. अगर वो ट्राई करते रहोगे तो इवेंचुअली एक दिन उसमें अच्छा बन जाओगे. वो उस पर मैं काफी विश्वास रखता हूँ, इसलिए मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि मैं भी स्ट्रीम में थोड़ा हिंदी बोलूंगा, क्योंकि थोड़ा थोड़ा होके कुछ महीने में मुझे लगता है कि मेरा हिंदी ठीक हो जाएगा. Okay, in this question we are told that this is an interesting question. I don't know how many people got it correct. Only 13 people got it correct, because I actually felt that this was a tough question, so I wanted to see how many people will get it correct. This also is a question from previous year's CAT papers. So let us try to answer this. In this question, we are told that Boston is 4 hours ahead of Frankfurt and 2 hours behind India. So let us assume that this is Boston, this is Frankfurt, and this is India. Let us assume that the time in Boston is say, or the time in say Frankfurt is, say the time in Boston is X. What does it mean? What is the time in Frankfurt? What we know is that Boston is 4 hours ahead of Frankfurt. So the time in Frankfurt would be X minus 4. And Boston is 2 hours behind India. If Boston is 2 hours behind India, the time in India will be X plus 2. What does this mean? If you are just trying to understand this from a point of view of intuitively understanding it, if you assume that the time in Boston right now is say 10 a.m. The time in Frankfurt is 6 a.m. at the same time. And the time in India will be 12 noon. That is what is being told. Boston is 4 hours ahead of Frankfurt. So Boston is already 10 a.m. and Frankfurt will be 10 a.m. 4 hours later. So Boston is ahead. And 2 hours behind India. So Boston it is 10 a.m. but in India is actually 2 hours ahead. It is already 12 noon. This is what is told to us. Now there is a flight which leaves Frankfurt at 6 p.m. and it reaches Boston on the same day. Now it goes to Boston. We don't know at what time it has reached Boston. After waiting there for 2 hours, he leaves exactly at noon. So now he is leaving at exactly noon after waiting for 2 hours. So the time he reached Boston is 10 a.m. But this is 10 a.m. Boston time. What is the time in Frankfurt at this time? The time in Frankfurt at this time is 6 a.m. And he reaches India at 1 a.m. He leaves at this time and he reaches India at 1 a.m. If he is reaching India at 1 a.m., what is the time in Frankfurt at this time? The time in Frankfurt at this time will be 6 hours earlier. So this will be 7 p.m. Now this guy leaves Boston at 12 noon. So the time in Frankfurt at which he leaves is 10 a.m. Sorry, not 10 a.m., 8 a.m. because it is 4 hours difference. So what does this mean? Now just to get an understanding or just to get an idea, this guy left Frankfurt at 6 p.m. He flies to Boston. He reaches Boston at 10 a.m. Boston time. 10 a.m. Boston time is 6 a.m. Frankfurt time. He waits for 2 hours. He leaves at 12 noon Boston time. 12 noon Boston time is 8 a.m. Frankfurt time. And then he reaches India at 1 a.m. 1 a.m. India time is 7 p.m. Frankfurt time. The key to solving these kind of questions which involve time zones is to have a base and try to convert all the times, at least all the important times, to the base times. So now if you look at the time it has taken for this guy to fly from Frankfurt to Boston, he started at 6 p.m. He reached at 6 a.m. So it has taken him 12 hours. Then he waited in Boston for 2 hours. And how much time did it take for him to go from Boston to India? He started in Boston at 8 a.m. Frankfurt time. He reached at 7 p.m. Frankfurt time. So he flew for 11 hours. Now let us look at the questions that are given. His journey, including stoppage, is covered at 180 miles per hour. What is the total time that it has taken? He started at 6 p.m. in Frankfurt. He reached the next day at 7 p.m. So the total time it has taken is 25 hours. This includes 2 hours of stoppage. So the total journey is 180 into 25, which is equal to 4,500 miles. So the answer for this question is option B. Let us look at the next question. After you have listened to this explanation, you should be definitely getting the next question correct. So me Ranjan is saying, hello sir, I'm a B.Pharm fresher student. What should be my minimum percentile for me to get a call? I would recommend my staff to actually post that link for the CAT percentile required. For IAM calls. It is a fairly accurate tool. Use it for you to get the understanding. Mohit, for you also, I would recommend you to go to that CAT percentile required for IAM calls. That's a nice tool. Try to use it. In this question, we are told that this guy starts his return journey from India at 2:55 am on the same day. And after how much time will he reach Frankfurt? The only difference is in this journey, the break at Boston is just 1 hour lesser than his previous halt. So remember what we discussed. This is Frankfurt. This is India. And this is Boston. He flew from Frankfurt to Boston in 11 hours. In 12 hours. And he had a 2 hours halt here. Then he flew from Boston to India in 11 hours. Now he's doing the same thing exactly in reverse direction. So it is going to take him this 11 hours to go from India to Boston. But now instead of 2 hours halt, he is stopping for 1 hour lesser. So he'll only stop for 1 hour. And from Boston to Frankfurt, again he will travel for 12 hours. So the total time he's going to take is 24 hours. So the answer for this question is option A. Let me see how many people got it correct. 39 people have gotten this correct, which is nice and which is interesting. Let us go to the next question. Sanjay Deshmukh, we are converting everything. 10 am is basically when he reached Boston, because he waited in Boston for 2 hours before he traveled further to India. Misa Kor is saying time, speed, distance questions sometimes make me question life. I know it is frustrating, I get it. But the way is, this is how the system works. This is a exam. Whether it is the right way to select a good manager or not is debatable. But because in India there are so many people and there are very few seats, there has to be some way in which we have to shortlist and we have to give people seats. So there has to be some criteria for selection, which has to be uniform, which has to be objective. And people decided that this is how it is. So you have to just face it and prepare well for it. Usha Ranka is saying, why 1 hour? It is actually given in the question that in the return journey, he will wait for only 1 hour at Boston. When he is going from Frankfurt to Boston to India, he waits for 2 hours in Boston. In the return journey, he will wait for only 1 hour. Yes, Hussein, I have already looked at your query. I think I told you already earlier, right? I think you have 5 years work ex, so you can take GMAT also, but don't give up on CAT completely. Have the options open. I agree with that. With 5 years work ex, you should only target the top IIMs. I agree with that. Is it worth doing MBA? I think that is a very profound question, because why you do your MBA is a very different thing. It has to be a personal reason. You should have your logic as to why you want to do an MBA, how it is going to benefit your career, all of these things, which I don't want to discuss now, because it is a personal thing. I don't want to comment on whether it is good, whether it is bad. But with 5 years work ex, what I would suggest is, and if your profile is good, then I think you should aim only for the top IIMs. Because with 5 years work ex, I think you are already decently well settled in your career. And MBA for 2 years is a big disruption in your career. Now, somebody who is a fresher or somebody who has only said 2-3 years work ex would be just about starting their corporate career. Realistically, their salary also might not be very high. So for them to actually take a break and do their MBA and then join the corporate sector, there would not be a lot of disturbance. But somebody who has 5 years, 6 years of work ex is already kind of settled in a particular path. So now stopping that, doing MBA and again joining back, we don't know which path you will join, which sector you will join, whether it is in the same sector or whether you will start in a completely different sector as somebody who is starting from the scratch. So all of those things are actually important for you to consider. So then it becomes a lot more deeper question for you to take a call. I would still say with 5 years work ex also, take CAT seriously, try to target the top IIMs, and if you convert it, there is nothing like it. If you don't convert it, I think it is okay. For you, I think your options are actually better, because if you have a work ex of already 5 years, MBA is not super crucial for you. For many other people who either don't have a job or whether for whatever reason they are fixated on MBA after 2 years or so, then they will feel a lot more stress on the day of the examination. For you, I would say take it, don't ditch it, take it, but without too much pressure. Sitapati Bharadwaj Deshpande, basically you can join at kraku.in/live. We have these streams every Saturday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. So please do join the stream. Okay, let us answer this question. In this question, we are told that there is a certain perfume at a duty-free store. The cost is 520 bahts per bottle. But after the first bottle is bought, the remaining bottles are sold at a 30% discount. And then there are 3 friends, S, R and M. They buy 3 perfumes. And R pays in euros, he pays 2 euros. M pays 4 euros and 27 baht. And S pays the remaining in US dollars. So what is the total amount of money that they should pay? The first one will cost 520 baht. The second one will cost 520 into 0.7 because they got a discount of 30%. The third one will also cost 520 into 0.7. What is 520 into 0.7? This is 364. This also is 364. So the total cost is 364 plus 364, which is 728, plus 520, which is 1248. This is the total cost. Because they got 3 bottles, each one of them has to essentially pay 1248 divided by 3, which is 416 Thai baht. This is what they have to pay. But how much did they pay? What we are told is that S, R and M. R paid how much? He paid 2 euros. A euro is 46 baht. So R paid 92 baht. How much did M pay? M paid 4 euros plus 27 Thai baht. 4 euros is 4 into 46, which is 184, plus 27, which is equal to 211 Thai baht. The remaining S paid in USD. We don't know how much it is, but that is not important. What we are told is how much does MOS in US dollars. How much does MO? In Thai baht, he had to pay 416, but he paid only 211. So in Thai baht, the amount that MOS is 416 minus 211, which is equal to 205. He owes him 205 Thai baht, and 1 US dollar is 41 Thai baht. Therefore, the number of Thai baht that he owes is 205 divided by 41 in US dollars. This is equal to 5 USD. So the answer is option C. Let us look at the next question. Sir, एक VA का भी session करा दो. Okay man, good idea. We'll try to conduct one VA session in the coming days. Sir, not really able to perform well in questions. Hardly able to score 15 to 20 in dash cards. What should I do? I would say start solving questions as many as you can. That I think is the first step, so that you will also gain confidence. If you just look at videos, you won't gain the confidence, and your performance in mocks will not improve tremendously. On the other hand, if you actually solve questions on your own, your confidence will improve. Motivation idea. What is the question you asked, man? Can you please tell me again? Then I'll try to answer it. I have a problem of overthinking in VRC section. How to tackle it, sir? I understand the passage well, but stuck in options anyways. I'm able to eliminate 2 options correctly. See, I think the whole key to answering questions in VARC is ensuring that you are able to eliminate options. So if you're able to eliminate even one option, I think you are making progress. Don't worry too much. Many times students tell me that they're able to eliminate two options, but amongst the final two options, they are marking the wrong option. I think that is just a psychological issue. Don't worry about it. In general, if you're able to eliminate two options, by probability, by logic, I think you are on the very right track. Just continue doing the same. "82 people got it correct because this was a question which is related to the early one. So as you can see here, R paid 92 Thai baht. So how many Thai baht does R owe S? Each one of the three guys has to pay 416 Thai baht. R paid only 92 Thai baht. So the amount of money that R owes S is 416 minus 92, which is equal to 324 Thai baht, which is option D. Let us look at the next question. Rubesh, yes, 50 in head start marks is a good score. Try to convert and try to get the same number of marks even in dash cats. Ridesh Nayan is saying, how important is sectional percentile? My scores are skewed. I think every section also has a percentile cutoff. Typically, it is around 80 percentile. So it is important for you to do well in all three sections. Especially, you should not do horribly in any section. Sir, I am a new employee, just finished my engineering, joined work for the past 6 months. Is it advisable to do MBA now? I would recommend you to take CAT, because if you take CAT, if you have already applied, take it. Maybe you can work for 1-2 years before you actually do your MBA. But having said that, taking CAT, that experience will be helpful for you in the future. So definitely take the examination. But in an ideal situation, I would want you to work for 2 years before you actually do your MBA. How can I answer the question live? Please go to krakow.in/live. There you can find the questions and you can attempt the test. In this question, we are told that the cost price of making a watch is rupees 150 for every watch, and he incurs an additional expenditure of 30,000, independent of the number of watches produced. If he is able to sell a watch during a season, he sells it for 250. If he is not able to sell it in the season, he sells it for 100. He is able to sell only 1200 out of the 1500 watches in the season, and the rest 300 are sold out of the season. What is the profit he made? So what is the total cost price? He made a total of 1500 watches, so that is 1500 into the variable cost, that is the per cost of watch, per watch cost is 150. Plus he has an additional cost of 30,000 irrespective of the number of watches made. So this is 30,000. This is the total cost. In this kind of situation, I'll just take 1000 common. So if I take 1000 common, this will be 15 into 15, which is 225. Plus this is 30,000, you're taking 1000 common, so this is 30. So the total cost price is 255,000. What is the total selling price? He sold 1200 of them in the season. So that is 1200 per watch he sells in the season, he makes 250. And in the remaining 300 he sold out of season. And when he sells it out of season, he gets 100 rupees. Again, let me take 1000 common. So this is 1000 into 1200 into 25 is 300 plus 30, which is 330 into 1000. So the profit, which is the total selling price minus the total cost price, is 330 into 1000 minus 255 into 1000, which is 75,000. That is the profit, which is option B. Let us look at the next question. Harini Black is saying, till what time do we have this live session? Around say 4, it will end between 4 to 4:15 p.m. Maybe we'll have it for maybe another 1 hour or so. Would the fact that there are more students appearing this year majorly affect percentile wise interview calls? See, again, don't worry about all of these things. I actually don't know how many people have applied for CAT this year. I think last year there was a big jump. I don't know how many it is this year. If anybody knows that number, let me know. Michael is saying, sir, firstly wanted thanks for this session. Also great marks, they're of top notch quality. Thanks a lot, man. Kushagra is saying, sir, how many questions are we going to do in this workshop? I am looking at 23 questions, man. I think this is the 13th question, there will be 10 more questions. Michael also wants an advice. He started his prep late, so I can't read it properly. For some reason, I can't read it. Algebra is pending, but with arithmetic algebra, geometry, I'm scoring 24, 24. I would say the thing that I tell people, focus on arithmetic, algebra and geometry in this last 1 month. I think that will help you quite a lot. Okay, now we are told that he produces 1500 watches. What is the number of watches that he must sell during the season in order to break even? Remember, what is the total cost price? The total cost price we have discussed earlier is 255 into 1000. Suppose he is selling X in season, then how many does he sell in off season? In off season, he is going to sell 1500 minus X. The watches he's selling in season, he can sell for 250. And the watches he's selling out of season, he can sell at 100. So the total money that he'll make is 250X plus 100 into 1500 minus X. This is equal to 150X plus 1.5 lakh. Because this is 250X minus 100X. This has to equal 2,55,000, which is his total cost price. That is when he will break even. Or the value of 150X is equal to 105,000. Or the value of X will be 700. So the minimum number of watches he has to sell in the season is 700, which is option B. Let us look at the next question. Karan is saying, what should I do in the last 1 month? I think in the last 1 month, the most important thing in DLR that you have to do is ensure that you are solving as many questions as you can, as many sets as you can. Try to ensure that at least the last 3 years, CAT previous year's papers, you have solved all the LRDAs from the last 3 years papers, because that will give you a psychological boost. You know that you have solved the questions from previous year's LRDAs. So you feel that and you will also start believing that you will be able to answer those kind of questions which come up in the examination. Sahasri Chatterjee is saying, thank you for the quality content provided by Krakow, also the daily targets. Thanks a lot, Sahasra. Anupam Dubey is saying, sir, I'm able to solve these questions easily. Do you think after leveling up more this year, this difficulty of questions can come? See, all of these questions are actually from previous year's CAT papers. The only issue I would say is, in the actual examination, you will have to hold your nerves also. Sometimes you start panicking. So if you don't panic, the difficulty will not be much different from this. That much I can assure you. Don't spam, man. Agarwal, if you're spamming so much, I won't answer. Sagar Tolan is saying, is life after joining college, is it very hectic? Or do we get time for our social life? It is a very hectic life, man. In MBA, it is not easy. But I think that is okay. You will enjoy it also. You won't feel too stressed out. If you are mature and if you hold your nerves and if you are calm, it is quite enjoyable, the 2 years. Kaushik Jana is saying, is there algebra in this workshop? This question itself is an algebra question, man. So, okay, Agarwal is asking minimum marks required for clearing DLR cutoff. I would say out of the 4 sets, you have to get 1 set correct and then you will clear the DLR cutoff. So typically you need to get 1 set correct. That is what I would say. Guys, please do like the stream. We have 150 people who are watching the stream live. Let us get to 300 likes, guys, before the stream ends. So we need just another 82 likes. Please do like it. Okay, in this question, we are told that last time Rahul bought Diwali cards. He bought 4 types of cards. One card cost 2 rupees. Another one cost 3.5 rupees. Another one cost 4.5 rupees. And another one cost 5 rupees. Okay, very interesting. He told that the total number of cards that he bought is 30. And he bought 5 of 2 kinds and 10 of 2 other kinds. What does this mean? It means that out of these 4 types of cards, one card costs 2 rupees, one costs 3.5, one costs 4.5, and another costs 5. He bought 5 of one type, 5 of another type, and the remaining 2 he bought 10 and 10. So essentially the number of cards that he bought is either 5 or it is 10 for each one of these 4 types. So let us assume that he bought 5A of these 2 cards, 5B of this 3.5 cards, 5C of this 4.5 cards, and 5D of this 5 cards. What we are essentially saying is that 5A, 5B, 5C, 5D, they are one of 5, 5, 10 and 10. Because essentially everything is either 5 or 10, which is a multiple of 5. This is how I would write it. So basically we are saying A, B, C and D are 1, 1, 2, 2 in some order. We have to just figure out which of them is 1 and which of them is 2. Then we will be done. So the total money that he spent is 2 into 5A, which is 10A, 3.5 into 5B, which is 17.5B, 4.5 into 5C, which is 22.5C, and 5 into 5D, which is 25D. What is told to us is that the sum of all of them, which is the total amount of money that is spent, is a multiple of 10. Now what I am essentially going to say is the value of B and C has to be the same. Now we know that A, B, C, D, all of them are either 1 or 2. The essential conclusion is that if B is 1, C has to be 1. If B is 2, C has to be 2. Because if one of them is 1 and another one is equal to 2, this sum will be a decimal. We will be left with some 0.5 somewhere. For example, if B is 1 and C is 2, it will be 17.5 and 45. The other two are an integer, so it won't mind. If say B is 2, this will be 35 and this will be C is 1 is 22.5. Again, this is not an integer. So essentially one thing we are saying is that B has to equal C. Now if you are saying B has to equal C, A will have to therefore equal D, because we have 1, 1 and 2, 2. So now the way it will look is we have 10A, 17.5B, 22.5B and 25A, because A is equal to D, B is equal to C. So what is the total money that he spent? The total money he spent is 10A plus 25A, which is 35A, plus 17.5B plus 22.5B, which is equal to 40B. Now this would imply that this is a multiple of 10. That is what is given to us. And what is A and B? One of them is equal to 1 and one of them is equal to 2. We just don't know which one is 1, which one is 2. But if you look at it, this has to be a multiple of 10. 40B is anyways a multiple of 10. Whether A is 1 or A is 2, 40A is always a multiple of 10. So we want 35A to be a multiple of 10. And 35A will be a multiple of 10 only if A is equal to 2. If A is equal to 1, this will be 35, which is a multiple of 5 but not a multiple of 10. So we want A to be equal to 2 and B will be therefore equal to 1. So the total amount of money that he spent, which is 35A plus 40B, is equal to 70 plus 40, which is equal to 110. So the number of notes that he gave is 11 because he gave 10 rupee notes. Let us look at the next question. Somebody is asking, hello sir, can I leave the logarithm concept? I would basically say that logarithm is a simple concept. If you know the rules, most likely you will be able to answer the question. There are hardly 4 or 5 formulae, and for each formula, if you are solving say 5 questions, most likely if a logarithm question comes, you will be able to answer it. So don't leave it, because I feel that it is a scoring topic. It is just that it is overwhelming, it is intimidating. So many people, especially who are non-engineers, find logarithm to be very complex, very difficult. But if you spend some time, not more than say 2 hours, you will feel that, okay, this is not a difficult question or this is not a difficult topic. And that is why I would say it is a scoring topic. So spend some time on it. Nora, if you have done arithmetic and algebra, I would recommend you to also do geometry. Just focus on those three. Bhavnesh Nathan is saying, can I leave coordinate geometry? I think you can leave it. Maybe one question will come. But if you're not comfortable, I think you can leave it. In this question, we are given two curves. We are given x cube plus x square plus 5 and y is x square plus x plus 5. We are required to calculate which of the four statements is true when x lies between minus 2 and 2, which basically involves the number of times the curves will intersect. So let us equate both the equations and try to see the number of points of intersection. So if x cube plus x square plus 5 is equal to x square plus x plus 5, we can cancel x square, we can cancel plus 5. We are essentially left with x cube is equal to x, or the value or the factorization is x into x square minus 1 is equal to 0. So this is x into x minus 1 into x plus 1 is equal to 0. So the roots are x is equal to 0 or minus 1 or plus 1. So these two curves intersect in 3 points. At one point x is 0, at one point x is minus 1, at one point x is 1. Interestingly, all of them lie between minus 2 and plus 2. So the number of points of intersection for these two curves between minus 2 and plus 2 is this 3 points. So the two curves intersect thrice within this range. So the correct answer is option D. Let us look at the next question. Harish is saying, sir, I'm not comfortable with geometry, but I'm okay with all other parts. Is it okay to leave? What can I say, man? See, probably you won't like my answer, but geometry is an important topic. You can expect at least 3 to 4 questions from geometry. I understand that geometry is a very long topic. It is not a simple topic. So it will take you time to go through all of it. So probably you don't have the time. What I would at least tell you is know the basics of geometry. So for that, definitely go through the CAT revision playlist. We have a CAT revision playlist. We have posted the link for it many times in this chat. I think it is given even in the description of this video. Or you can just search on YouTube, Kraku CAT revision playlist. In that we have 2 videos for Quant. One video for LRDA and one video for verbal. I would say that even if you are not comfortable with any topic, just go through these 2 Quant videos. At least the basics will be covered. So if a simple question comes from any topic, you will be able to answer it. Oga Nohara is saying, I'm terrified of geometry. I was thinking about numbers or probability and PNC. I would actually tell you that you can leave PNC and probability. Know the basics of it, very simple basics. How many arrangements are possible if there is repetition, that is how many arrangements of A, B, B, C, C, C are possible. Here A is repeated 2 times, B is repeated 2 times, C is repeated 3 times. What is the number of arrangements possible? So at least know the basics of it. You don't need to go into a deep dive, because if a very simple question comes from it, you should be able to answer it. But otherwise you don't need to focus too much on P and C and probability. Sri Mukesh, if you are taking time and if you want to increase speed, the only way to do it is by solving more and more questions. On a daily basis, try to solve 20 to 25 questions in Quant. You will notice that your speed will improve. And you still have a month. So in this month, you can solve a lot of questions. So try to keep solving as many as you can. Shwetlana, I have taken a geometry marathon. It is there in our YouTube channel. I think I have taken it just last week. So we have already taken the following marathons. We have taken one marathon on arithmetic. We have taken one marathon on algebra. We have taken one marathon on number systems. And we have also taken one marathon on geometry. All of them are available on our YouTube channel in the lives tab, the live stream tab, past live streams. This is the 5th one we are doing, which is a mixture of algebra and arithmetic. In this question, we are told that x is greater than 2 and y is greater than minus 1. Then which of the following statements is necessarily true? So here we are told that x is greater than 2 and y is greater than minus 1. So x can basically be any number This is 2 to infinity. This is where x is. This is a 0 and this is minus 1. This is where x is and this is where y is. Y is greater than minus 1. We are given 4 options and we are told which of them is necessarily true. Whenever you see this kind of a question, we want a option which is always true. It need not be sometimes true. It has to be always true. So the way to actually solve this kind of questions is try to find a contradiction. If you can find one value of a, one value of x and one value of y for which a particular expression is not true, you can rule out that option. Let us look at it. The first one says x into y is greater than minus 2. You should immediately feel that because y has some negative values, this will be false. When will it be false? For many values it will be false. Say y is over here, it is a negative number, say y is equal to 0.9. And y is minus 0.9, it's a negative number. And x is say very large, x is say 1000. Then x into y will be a negative number which is equal to say minus 9000. This is not greater than minus 2. So this is definitely false. It is possible that for some values it is true, but it has to be true always. That is the point of necessarily true. So option A is wrong. If you're looking at option B, we want minus x to be less than 2y. Just to simplify it, we want minus x to be less than 2y, or we want x plus 2y to be greater than 0. Now this seems to be true. Why is this true? Because we know that y is greater than minus 1. So 2y is greater than minus 2 and x is greater than 2. This is known to us. So if you are adding these two inequalities, we can actually prove that x plus 2y is greater than 0. So this is actually true and this is always true. But even if you are not able to find a contradiction, let us find contradictions for option C and option D so that we can rule them out. X into y is less than minus 2. Again, this need not be always true. We can always say that in fact y can be equal to 0. So if you put y is equal to 0 and x is equal to say 100, x into y is equal to 0 and 0 is not less than minus 2. So this is a contradiction. So this is not always true. If you're looking at the next one, minus x is greater than 2y, or essentially we are told that 0 is greater than x plus 2y. This also need not always be true. Like again, if you are assuming that x is 100 and y is 0, this is equal to 100. So that is a contradiction. 0 is not greater than 100. So this also is not true. We need not prove whether it is true sometimes or whether it is false sometimes. If we can prove that it is false once, that can be ruled out because we want some option which is always true. So the only option remaining is option B, and we can actually prove that that is always greater than 0 like we proved over here. So the correct answer is option B. Let us look at the next question. Soumya is saying, is it okay to skip number system? I haven't covered it yet. Only topics or main topics in number system to be covered. I would recommend you to cover the topics of HCF, LCM and number of factors. I think other than that, if you ignore number systems, it is probably okay. But these are the basics, so try to cover it. You are right, Nidesh Nair. That is why you should not skip any topic. You should cover the basics of all the topics and you should be proficient in arithmetic, algebra and geometry. Okay, let us answer this question. Here we are told that there is a function which is x star y is equal to x plus 0.5y minus x into y. X and y are both greater than 0.5. Then what if x hash x or x into star x is less than y star y? Which of the following is true? Essentially, this is what we are given. So let us try to simplify it. What does x star x mean? This is if you are substituting x in this place, it will be x plus 0.5x minus x square is less than y plus 0.5y minus y square. This is given to us. So 1.5x minus x square is less than 1.5y minus y square, or 1.5 into x minus y plus y square minus x square is less than 0, or 1.5 into x minus y minus x minus y into x plus y is less than 0. This would imply that x minus y into 1.5 minus x plus y is less than 0. So now there are two cases. The first case is x is less than y, in which case this is negative. So this has to be positive. So if x is less than y, 1.5 has to be greater than x plus y. Or x is greater than y. If x is greater than y, this is positive. So this has to be negative. So we want 1.5 will be less than x plus y. One of these two cases has to be true. So let us look at the options. First one says that 1 is greater than x is greater than y. Here we are looking at x is greater than y. So this is the case we are looking at. And if 1 is greater than x is greater than y, can we say for certain that x plus y is greater than 1.5? That need not always be true, because we can assume that x is equal to say 0.7 and y is equal to 0.6. We just know that x and y are greater than 0.5, but it doesn't imply that x plus y is greater than 1.5. So this is not the correct answer. What about option B? X is greater than 1 is greater than y. Again, x is greater than y, but here we are told that x is greater than 1. So if x is greater than 1, we are already told that y is greater than 0.5. So x plus y will be greater than 1.5. So this is definitely true. So that will be the answer. But just for the sake of completeness, let us look at option C and D. Here we are told that y is greater than x. So we are looking at this one. And we want 1 is greater than y is greater than x. This is actually very similar to the first option, where we can assume that y is equal to 0.7 and say x is equal to 0.6. So y is greater than x, but x plus y need not be greater than 1.5. So if y is greater than x, we want 1.5 to be greater than x plus y. In this particular example, x plus y is less than 1.5, but we can find a contradiction for this. The contradiction essentially is that say y is equal to 0.9 and x is equal to 0.8. Then x plus y will be 1.7. So just on the basis of this, we can say that sometimes it is true, sometimes it is false. So we can't say that this is always true. So this also won't be the case. Because in this particular case, if we assume that y is 0.9 and x is 0.8, where y is greater than x and both of them are less than 1, this condition is not satisfied. So this also is not the case. Similarly, we can even rule out option D. If y is greater than 1 is greater than x, it would imply that we are talking about this particular case where y is greater than x. We can make y to be equal to say 1.1 and x to be equal to say 0.6. Then y plus x will be 1.7. And this is not satisfied. So this also is not the correct answer. The only interval in which this is always true is option B. Let us look at the next question. We have released a video yesterday This is about the final countdown. What is the best way to make use of the last 30 days? The title of the video is Final Countdown to CAT 2024, Essential Topics and Revision Tips by me. So please do check it out. We'll post the link for it in the chat. I think it is a very useful stream. Yeah, it's a very useful video. So definitely check it out. Karan Kasliwal is saying, I'm scoring 20 in quants, how to make it above 30? I would say the only way to do it is by solving more and more questions. Solve questions on your own. Don't just look at videos or concept videos. Solve them on your own. The more questions you solve in between mocks, the higher you will be actually able to attempt in the mock. We have around 120 people who are watching the stream live. Please do like the stream. I want to get to 300 likes before the stream ends. If you are having any doubts, you can ask me in the chat. I'll try to respond to them. In this question, we are told that there are two people, X and Y. They are getting different monthly salaries. X is getting a monthly salary of 300. And he is getting an annual increment of 30 rupees. So starting in 1950, his salary in 1950 is, annual salary is 300 monthly salary. So that becomes 3,600. What is his salary in 1951? He got a monthly increment of 30. So this will be 330 into 12. What is his annual salary in 1952? It is 360 into 12 and so on. What is his annual salary in 1959? It will be 570 into 12. Because in 1951 he got 30 rupees extra. In 1952 he got 60 rupees extra per month. Similarly, in 1959, he'll get 270 rupees extra per month. So this is the total money that he'll make. Similarly, if you're looking at the other guy, Y, he starts off with 200 rupees monthly salary for the first 6 months. The total money he makes for the first 6 months is 200 into 6. Then he gets an increment of 15 rupees. For the second 6 months, the money he makes is 215 into 6. For the third 6 months, the money he makes is 230 into 6. Dot, 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 dot. How many 6 months are there? Finally, he is going to get the last 20th 6 months, because again for both of them, it is a 10-year journey. So for the last set of 20th 6 months, the amount of money he will get is 485 into 6. Because you can see that for the first 6 months he got 20. Then there is an increment of 15. So on the 20th term will be basically 485. So the total money that both of them will make is, this is the sum for X, this is the sum for Y. This is, if you take 12 common, we want 300 plus 330 plus dot 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 plus 570. Here it will be 6 into 200 plus 215 plus dot 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 plus 485. Both of them are arithmetic progressions. This has 10 terms. This has 20 terms. Now in an arithmetic progression, if you know the first term and the last term and the number of terms, the sum of this arithmetic progression is 12 into the sum of the first term and the last term divided by 2, which is 300 plus 570 divided by 2 into the number of terms, which is 10. Similarly here, the sum of this arithmetic progression is 6 into the number of terms is 20 into the average of the first and the last term, which is 200 plus 485 divided by 2. This is 5, this is 10. So basically 12 into 5 is 60. So this is 60 into 870. And this is 6 into 10 is 60 into, this is 685. So basically what we are looking for is the total will be 60 into 1555. This, if you simplify, is equal to 93,330. So the correct answer, I think there is no 30, I think this is 93,300. So the correct answer is option A. Let us look at the next question. How important is functions, is somebody is asking. I think functions is an important topic. If you already know the basics, then prepare from it. If you don't know the basics, I think functions you might feel difficulty in learning the basics. So probably then I would say recommend it, but it is an important topic. Karan Kasliwal is saying, please make a video on the basics of PNC that you mentioned. I would recommend you to go through the revision videos that we mentioned. They'll be very useful. It's my pleasure, Sripati Bharadwaj Deshpande is thanking me for the live stream. Okay. In this question, we are told that there are two societies, S1 and S2. Initially, both of them had N members. S1 had N, S2 had N. They started in January. Every month, S1 got B members. So in January, there were N members in S1. In February, there will be N plus B. In March, there will be N plus 2B and so on. So on July, in the 1st of July, the number of members will be N plus 6B. Similarly for S2, it is being multiplied by a constant term which is R. So in January if it is R, in February it is NR, in March it is NR square and so on. In July it is N into R to the power 6. Both of them are basically the same even in July. We are told that B is 10.5N. So the total members in S1 will be N plus 6 into 10.5N, which is equal to 64N. So if 64N is equal to N into R to the power 6, you can cancel N. So the value of R is equal to 2. So the answer for this question is option A. Let us look at the next question. Harsh Vajpayee saying thank you for this session. Thanks a lot, man. If you found it useful, please do like this stream, guys, and please do share it with your friends. I think everybody will find it useful. Farhan Faiz is saying, what should I do if I have not prepared the geometry concepts? I would recommend you to go through the revision playlists. They will be very useful for you. So in this question, we are given a series where the nth term is given by n divided by n plus 2. So what is the value of T3? 3 is equal to 3 divided by 5. What is the value of T4? That is 4 divided by 4 plus 2, which is 6. What is the value of T5? That will be 5 divided by 5 plus 2, which is 7. What is the value of T6? That is 6 divided by 6 plus 2, which is 8, and so on. And what is the value of T53? That will be equal to 53 divided by 53 plus 2, which is 55. Now, what is the product of all of these terms? If you are looking at the product of all of these terms, it is basically 3 by 5 into 4 by 6 into 5 by 7 into 6 by 8 into ... into 53 by 55. Now, you will notice that some terms get cancelled. 5 in the numerator and 5 in the denominator get cancelled. 6 and 6 get cancelled. 7 and 7 over here will get cancelled. 53 and 53 will get cancelled. The only two terms which will remain in the numerator is 3 into 4. And the only two numbers which remain in the denominator are the last two denominators, which is 54 into 55. Now 3 divided by 54 is 18. 4 is 2 times 2. 18 is 9 times 2. So this, when simplified, is equal to 2 divided by 55 into 9, which is 495. So the answer for this question is option A. Let us look at the next question. Thanks a lot for the kind words, Farhan. If you like this video, please do share it with your friends, and please do like this stream. That will help us and motivate us to conduct this kind of streams more often. In this question, we are told that f of x is x cube minus 4x plus p. F of 0 and f of 1 are of opposite signs. Whenever you are given that there are two expressions which are of opposite signs, the only way we can ensure that they are of opposite signs is if their product is less than 0. If you are told that there are two numbers, one of which is positive and one of which is negative, the implication is that their product is negative. That is the one way in which you can confirm it. What is f of 0? F of 0 is just p, because if you are substituting the value of x to be equal to 0 in this expression, it is 0 minus 0 plus p, which is p. And what is the value of f of 1? That will be 1 minus 4 plus p, which is p minus 3. So p into p minus 3 is less than 0. If p into p minus 3 is less than 0, it would imply that p has to lie between 0 and 3. So this would imply that it has to be option B. Let us look at the next question. Hussein Abbas is saying, do we have a session next Saturday? I think next Saturday probably we won't have a session because we have Deepavali, that is Diwali, but we will again start having sessions the week after that. And that session might probably be in verbal. We will let you know in the coming 2 or 3 days. Karthika Mishra is saying how to prepare for DLR. Somebody is asking how to improve the speed in DLR. For all of them, the only suggestion I would give is solve the DLR sets from previous year's papers. Start with CAT 2023, CAT 2022 and CAT 2021. You have at least 20 sets from all of the slots combined. Solve those sets, you will feel better and you will also feel more confident. Karthika Mishra, I think you should definitely prepare Venn diagrams. Venn diagrams is one of the easiest DLRs that you can solve. So definitely go through the 4 parameter Venn diagrams. How to represent the 4 parameter Venn diagrams is very, very useful. Once you know it, you can definitely solve most of the Venn diagrams questions. So definitely don't ignore it. It is a scoring type of set. So in this question, we are told that f of x is log of 1 plus x divided by 1 minus x. We are asked to calculate what is f of x plus f of y. So that is log of 1 plus x divided by 1 minus x, which is f of x, plus log of 1 plus y divided by 1 minus y. This is f of y. This is equal to log of 1 plus x into 1 plus y divided by 1 minus x into 1 minus y. This is equal to log of the expression inside the logarithm. The argument will be 1 plus x plus y plus xy divided by 1 minus x minus y plus xy. Now we want to convert this to the form log of 1 plus some 1 plus say p divided by 1 minus p. This is what we want to convert it into. Now what you would notice is this is 1 plus xy plus x plus y and 1 plus xy minus x plus y. Essentially what we are saying is that this is of the form log of 1 plus xy plus x plus y divided by 1 plus xy minus x plus y. So what we'll do is the numerator and denominator over here will divide it by 1 plus xy. So this becomes equal to log of 1, which is basically 1 plus xy divided by 1 plus xy plus x plus y divided by 1 plus xy divided by the denominator is 1 plus xy divided by 1 plus xy is again 1 minus x plus y divided by 1 plus xy. This is of the form log of 1 plus p divided by 1 minus p, where the value of p is essentially equal to x plus y divided by 1 plus xy. So this is basically equal to f of x plus y divided by 1 plus xy, which is option B. Let us look at the next question. This is the last question for today. This is a fairly straightforward question. This is a fairly simple question. I think you should definitely get it correct. Sagar Tolanik, do we have 8 p.m. class in next week? I think 8 p.m. class will be there for some days. Let us see. On Diwali, it won't be there. Maybe we'll have some disturbance for 8 p.m. classes next week because of Diwali, but let us see. We'll let you know. Okay, this is a simple question. Let us try to solve it. We are given two fractions. We are required to calculate the sum of them. What is 3 minus 1 by 2? This is basically 5 by 2. And if you are taking the reciprocal of it, this becomes 2 by 5. So this is basically 4 divided by 2 plus 2 by 5. What is 2 plus 2 by 5? This is 4 divided by 12 by 5. Which is, if you simplify, just equal to 5 by 3. So this is 3 minus 5 by 3. What is 3 minus 5 by 3? 3 minus 5 by 3 is equal to 4 by 3. We are required to calculate 1 divided by 4 by 3. So this is basically 3 by 4. What is 1 plus 3 by 4? 1 plus 3 by 4 is 7 by 4. And we are required to calculate the reciprocal of it. So this entire thing you can cancel and just write 4 by 7 over here. Similarly, we'll simplify the other one. What is 2 minus 1 by 2? 2 minus 1 by 2 is 3 by 2. The reciprocal of it is 2 by 3. What is 4 divided by 3 plus 2 by 3? This is equal to 4 divided by 11 by 3, which if you take the reciprocal is just equal to 12 by 11. So this is 12 by 11. What is 3 minus 12 by 11? 3 minus 12 by 11 is equal to 21 by 11. So this is simply equal to 21 by 11. What is 3 divided by 21 by 11? 3 divided by 21 by 11 is equal to 33 by 21, which is equal to 11 by 7. So this is 11 by 7. So the overall sum is 4 by 7 plus 11 by 7, which is equal to 50 by 7, which is option B. Okay guys, thanks a lot for joining us today. Please do like the stream. If you have any doubts with respect to any of these 23 questions, you can please comment below this video. And I think there are 3 guys who got all 23 questions correct. So please do send a mail to support@kraku.in and you will get a Kraku t-shirt courier to you. Anybody who gets all the questions correct will get a Kraku t-shirt. So do join us next time. And if you have any doubts, please do comment below this video.